Judge Vonda B court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, Ms. Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together about 3 years ago. And we got a divorce. And now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yes, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already. But I have been paying health care for a long time, ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
Okay, and you want her to pay child support?
And I need that money.
Okay, she needs that money. You don't want to pay that money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex.
All right, buckle up because this case is about to get messy. We've got a heated courtroom showdown over child support, custody, and a shocking claim of denied parental access. Mrs. Armstrong says she's been doing it all alone and wants financial help, but Miss Tally fires back saying she hasn't even been allowed to see her own child for over a year. And just when you think you've heard it all, the judge steps in and takes control in a way that flips the whole case on its head. Stick around, because this one takes a sharp turn, and trust me, you won't believe how it ends.
The last year and a half.
Okay.
I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see. And I do not believe that I should be paying child support, rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money. But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
It's
different.
a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment. She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay, now that's going to change today. You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to see.
Hold up, did you catch that? Miss Tally just said she hasn't seen her son in over a year and a half. That's a massive red flag in family court. Legally, child support and visitation are completely separate issues. You can't block a parent from seeing their kid just because they're behind on payments. And then comes the bombshell. Once she starts paying, then she can see our son. Nah, that's not how parenting works. You don't unlock your child like you're subscribing to Netflix. The judge shut that logic down instantly, and rightfully so. Courts prioritize the child's best interest, and that means both parents should be involved. No paywall required.
It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
But the possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand? Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son. You understand that, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Now, as for you, you'll be able to see your son, but you do understand that you have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying
No,
child
ma'am.
support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it. Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex, right?
It's just one, yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one
And
child.
now let's talk numbers. Miss Tally's child support is officially locked in at $1,069 per month, including healthcare reimbursement. Does she like it? Absolutely not. But does she have a choice? Also no. Family law isn't about emotions. It's about equity and obligation. And when you've been cut off from your own child for over a year and a half, this ruling isn't just about money. It's the beginning of a long overdue reality check.
And then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because she's
Absolutely.
been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice, so, okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about
No,
that?
ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay. Why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Vonda. Judge Vonda.
Sad. She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child,
That
do I
mean-
have
that's
to
a
be
no.
around?
That's a no, because you're not gonna do that, right? You're gonna let her see the child.
Do I
Yes.
have to be around her when she comes? She has to come pick the child up, like for a weekend.
Yeah, however she picks him up. I mean, you guys have a child, so you should be able to be cordial with each other to some extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms in his life. You can't just deny.
Oh, now this is rich. Mrs. Armstrong really just asked, what's the right amount of time I have to let her see our son? As if co-parenting is some kind of haggling session. The judge shut that down fast, making it crystal clear. You don't get to hold a child hostage over money. Visitation isn't a reward, it's a right. And that smug little smirk? Yeah, that attitude might cost her big if she keeps playing games with the court. Co-parenting isn't optional, and the judge is done being patient.
What's the
I agree
least
with that.
of amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not gonna go there. You're gonna let her see him, and that's the end of it. You have your money, right?
Yes.
Okay then. So do you have any other questions? All right. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
And just like that, justice is served. The judge didn't just rule on child support. She shut down every excuse and made sure Miss Tally gets to see her son. This case is a textbook example of why courts separate financial support from parental access, because at the end of the day, it's not about hurt feelings or petty grudges. It's about what's best for the child. So what do you think? Was this ruling fair? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love breaking down wild courtroom drama, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications because trust me, we're just getting started.